I'm in Buenos Aires for a conference, so I can't be there for the start of the semester, but here's an introduction to the course.
Okay, I'd like to say a little about the course Computability. And Complexity. I'd like to say a bit about the content of the course, not very much, because that's what we'll be focusing on from now on, and I'd like to say quite a bit about the form of the course, because the form is quite different from what you're used to, I think. I'll say quite a bit about the form, but I'll also say something about the exam and the textbook, and a little bit what happens now, because you should do something when you watch this pencast. Anyway, this course answers the question, or attempts to answer the question, what is it that computers can do? And as we shall discover, there's a lot that they cannot do. So really, we're also asking, what is it that computers cannot do? And of course, when we say computers, we don't really think of the physical computers, because we keep replacing those. Computers execute algorithms, so we're really interested in what algorithms can do and what they cannot do. And you'll discover that there are three kinds of problems in the world. There are the ones that are solvable by algorithms. We've seen some of those already in algorithms courses, but in this course we'll discover that there are problems that will forever remain unsolvable. They are provably unsolvable, and there are ones that are solvable in principle but not in practice. And they are also important to know, because if you have a degree in computer science or something related to computer science, you'll probably spend a lot of your career implementing or devising algorithms. So it's important to know what kinds of problems are tractable and what kinds of problems are not tractable. But that's more or less what I'm going to say about the content of the course. I'll spend more time on the form of the course. There are four kinds of activities. One is that you read the textbook. I will not say a whole lot about how you do that. Hopefully you've read a textbook before. I'll say something about a related activity, namely the text-related questions. These have to do also with the exams. I'll say something about pencasts, and I'll say something, well, quite a bit about the practical sessions. First, the text-related questions. When you've read the text, you have the opportunity to answer a small number of text-related questions, and you can upload your answers to Moodle, and the answers that you upload will be subjected to peer review by one of your fellow students. So you submit answers, someone else will review your answers, and in return you get someone else's answers to review. So everyone should peer review each other's answers. We have to use LaTeX. There are some fairly strict rules in this course about LaTeX, because we have to use the same document format, and all the answers will have to be compiled by the Moodle server. So you must use LaTeX, and you cannot fiddle too much with the LaTeX macros in this. What are the benefits from this? One is that, of course, that when you read the text, you think about the text-related questions, and A further benefit is that your answers will be your exam portfolio. This will be the only aid that will be allowed at the written exam. So it's a good idea to participate in this exercise of answering text-related questions. There is a catch, because you have to participate in the peer review process. You cannot submit your answers and then not do a peer review. You'll only get your own answers into the portfolio if you provide a peer review for one of your fellow students. And one more thing to say is that it's essential that when you submit your answers that you have compiled your file using LaTeX, and you make sure that the file compiles without errors, because otherwise it will not go into the portfolio, not because it's something I want, but because otherwise the Moodle server cannot handle it, because the portfolio is generated automatically. So that's important too. But I'll write a document about this. This is just a taster. One special thing about this course is that there are no lectures, but there are pencasts. What you're watching right now is in fact a pencast. So I've decided not to lecture, because I've discovered, for one thing, that that students devote a lot of attention to attending lectures, but it's more important to devote one's attention to attending practical sessions and solving problems. That's where deep learning happens. On the other hand, it's also good to get an exposition of the material and to have something that can guide you in reading the text. So the pencasts will be the lectures of this course, and the pencasts are videos like this one, and they're bundles as zip files, one per session, bundle as zip archives, and you can download them from Moodle, and they can be watched on, well, PCs, tablets, phones, and you can watch them whenever you want, but please watch the pencast, read the text before attending the practical session. But other than that, you can watch them whenever you want. You can watch them at 2 in the afternoon or 2 in the morning. You can watch them when you're on your way home from the university, sitting on the bus. Please don't watch them when you're cycling home. Other than that, you can do whatever you want with the videos. You can keep them, pass them on through generations. They're released under the Creative Commons license. So you can use the videos for something if you want, according to the license. Anyway, that's what the pencasts are there for. They are the lectures of this course. Do we ever meet? Yes, we meet for the practical sessions. And the practical sessions are the most important part of the course. The practical sessions. If I knew I could write, I would write it. The practical sessions are held in 3 seminar rooms, and in one of these it'll be the seminar room downstairs. That's where I want you to go, because the large majority of students speak Danish, and it would be great if everyone who's not a speaker of Danish could be in the same room, because that would help you a lot. So that's the language room, and I'd like you to use that room for the practicals. And the practical sessions are in the schedule of the semester. One thing to note about the practicals is, why are they important? Well, one reason why they're important is that the problem sets I have devised the problems in the problem set such that they are very similar to what you'll be seeing at the exam, because it's a written exam. So by attending the practical sessions, working on the problem sets, you'll get a lot of practice that will be extremely useful when sitting the exam. Now for the exam. What's the exam? It's a written exam. It will be 3.5 hours. And it will be with an external examiner. There will be someone marking your solutions from some other university. That's how we often do it in Denmark. It's an external examiner, it's written, and it's graded with a mark on the Danish grading scale from -3 to 12. The exam will be in January, like all other exams of the autumn semester. Finally, a little bit about the textbook, because we've got a textbook. And the textbook, well, is this one. Two things I want you to notice. Firstly, you must buy the 3rd edition. There's a second edition and a first edition. Do not use them, they are obsolete. Substantial things have happened from edition to edition. Secondly, the international edition is the one that we'll be using. It's not the American edition. The page numberings are different, some other things are different in the American edition and the international edition. Please get the 3rd edition, international version. Finally, the first practical session is on Wednesday the 4th of September, so please, before that day, watch the pencasts. You can get them from Moodle and read the text. Before the practical session on the 4th of September at 8:15. And apart from that, I just want to say,
See you next Wednesday.